Welcome along to TUI Transfer Talk, and the news has broke Thursday afternoon that it seems like Dusan Tadic is trying to negotiate a move away from Saints and has opened talks with Dutch giants Ajax to return to the Netherlands in the Eredivisie. Of course, he played for Groningen and FC Twente before he played for Saints before signing in 2014. This story was initially reported by Jeremy Wilson of The Telegraph, and very creditable source. So if he tends to write about Saints, you tend to listen up. But he says it's up to £15 million on the table for Saints, who cost us nearly 11 million nearly 4 years ago, and had to consider his influence on the tail end of the season and inflation into that. It seems like Saints are in a good position to negotiate a good deal here. We could be asking for up to about 18 million. Now, on the face of things, seems like a good deal. We could be selling the player at the right time and for the right price, but it's how we replace him. Over the last few years, he has been the leading provider, the only spark of creativity going forward, providing most of the assists and scoring quite a few goals. Finished on 7 goals last season as our top scorer. But as I say, I think maybe it's the right time, perhaps a little bit too early, but Dusan Tadic will be turning 30 this year. 2 years still left on his contract, and I think we're in a strong position. Is Mark Hughes and Ross Wilson, they think they've got some deals already lined up to replace Dusan Tadic, but we need to move quickly in the market. A lot of the clubs, a lot of the same sort of clubs on our level in the league have already signed a handful of players. We are probably looking at a late flurry in the transfer window, but I'm genuinely gutted about this. Dusan Tadic, great over the last sort of 6 or 7 games under Mark Hughes last season. And as I say, really the only spark of creativity over the last few years, but, and a big but, he's been so frustrating, incredibly inconsistent. And, you know, I'm losing count the amount of times people have said, you know, for God's sake, Tadic, around me in the stand. That's being polite, by the way. If I had a pound for every swear I had at St Mary's, then I would be rich. But Dusan Tadic, 162 appearances, 23 goals over the 4 years. Genuinely gutted for this, actually, but he's had 4 good years. I mean, what do you think about this, Dusan Tadic? But we need to move quickly. We need to replace his creativity. And to replacing, I've seen a couple of reports suggesting that we are in the market looking at RB Salzburg's highly rated midfielder, according to these stories, Amadou Haidara, Mali international, 20 years old, and again from Salzburg, where we found Sadio Mane. So we could be unearthing a little gem once again. £15 million is tabled. The report suggests £15 million in this market is a snap. And of course, he, well, according to reports, he played a big part in Salzburg's charge to their title, 13 points margin in Austria last season. But they also made the semi-finals, so somewhat of an influence. But genuinely gutted for Dusan Tadic. Let me know what you think in the comments below.